Morena, welcome back to Breakfast. It's 14 minutes to 8. Iceland is waiting in uncertainty with a likely volcanic eruption looming. Tens of thousands of earthquakes have rattled the country in recent weeks, splitting the ground wide open and prompting mass evacuations. Now, scientists are watching closely with an eruption imminent. Two University of Auckland earth science students, Alyssa Pilkington and Christopher Todd, are in Iceland, and they join me now. It's so nice to have both of you on our show. Thank you so much for coming on. First of all, how are you doing? Are you okay? Are you safe?
Yes, we're okay. We're both in the capital of Reykjavik, so we're far away from where the activity is occurring.
But we are safe to study it.
Yes, which is fascinating. And what a coincidence, right? Talk to me about what it is that you're actually doing over there.
So the University of Auckland has an exchange program in which we both decided to do. And we thought, of course, as earth science students, what better place to go than Iceland? So we came here, and sure enough, it's been proven to us these very weeks.
Yeah, well, New Zealand and Iceland are very similar geologically. So it's been great to study Iceland, and we'll be able to bring that knowledge back to New Zealand.
What a fascinating time to be there. Can you talk to me about what it has been like, even though you are a little bit removed from where all of this is going on? Talk to me about what it's like, because there's been, as I say, thousands of tremors over the past few weeks.
Yes, so it's been very exciting. There's so many geologists here, so there is such an exciting atmosphere around. Of course, in regards to that excitement as well, there is also respect for the town of Grindavik, as those citizens have all had to be evacuated as well. But yeah, in general, the atmosphere is, we've felt a few earthquakes here and there. We know that some people in the flat that we are in have taken videos of the cabinet shaking, and here behind us on the screen, you may occasionally see an earthquake live, potentially. But yeah, it's been just earthquakes all over the place, and you can feel them from where we are.
Yeah, but it's, I guess, Christopher, it's more about what those earthquakes are doing underground that's causing the most concern, right?
Indeed. So what that's indicating is that there is magma moving underneath our feet, and an eruption could be imminent. How likely is that? I mean, we hear about how catastrophic this eruption could be. Is that likely? Yes, so the Met Office of Iceland and what the scientists are saying is that an eruption is probable.
Yep. And they do say that currently the magma is 400 meters under the surface. So seismicity has reduced, which does not rule out an eruption, but there is a possibility of it in the near future. But it's not 100% that the eruption will occur.
Right, because there was a point where we were talking about, as you mentioned, those residents in Grindavik have been evacuated. There was a point where we were talking about potentially that town being entirely wiped out. Is that less likely now?
Yes, so at that point, so a couple of weeks ago, in which there was a lot of commotion, a lot of seismicity. That's where most of the earthquakes were being felt. There was fears at that time that the magma was going to erupt from the surface, and that would have caused quite a significant eruption. There were residents in the town at that time, so that was where the main concern was coming from. The roads were all breaking up, so it would have been very difficult to evacuate the town. Currently, the situation has stabilized more so than if it had erupted at that time, but they're not 100% sure where exactly it will erupt at this point, as it's very hard to monitor.
Right, and what about the infrastructure around that town, Christopher? Do we know about what it's like there at the moment?
Yes, so unfortunately, a lot of the town has been damaged, and millions of dollars in damages, and some of it will need to be rebuilt, and the infrastructure of much of the area will need to be reassessed, and new measures will have to be taken into account, similar to what happened in the Christchurch earthquakes.
Right. Alyssa, I guess it's just a bit of a watch and wait now then, is it? It must be quite an uncertain feeling for a lot of people there.
Yes, absolutely. So we have been talking to professors at the University of Iceland here, as well as some of our acquaintances who are PhD geophysics students. And they're telling us that at this point, it's pretty much just a waiting game. They've done all that they can, and it's just waiting for whether it occurs or whether the magma cools and the dike doesn't, the magma doesn't reach the surface.
My gosh, you two have been amazing. Thank you for coming on our show. And what you know, as you say, as terrifying as it has been for a lot of residents, also a fascinating time for the two of you to be there. So thank you for coming on and talking to us. It's Alyssa Pilkington and Christopher Todd joining us, University of Auckland Earth Science students on exchange in Iceland right now. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.